Welcome, Seminole fans, to this week's edition of K-Time. I'm Scott Kotick here inside Hauser Stadium. The final non-conference series before conference play begins next weekend. This weekend is a matchup with the Villanova Wildcats. Seminoles are 7-0 in the season, have risen to number 6 in the polls, and have looked pretty impressive so far. Your top 3 storylines for this weekend. First and foremost, if you've seen Florida State baseball at all this year, the number 1 guy that pops out is Marcus Davis. This guy was named the co-ACC Player of the Week and a Louisville Slugger National Player of the Week last week. He's now hitting .455 on the season. He had 4 homers, leading the team in RBI 9 and slugging better than 1,000. The junior transfer has had mighty impressive start to this season and looks to do even bigger things. Should the Seminoles continue to have success, he needs to be at his best hitting in that 5-hole. The second storyline is consistency. If you know something about Florida State baseball, they draw walks better than any team in the country. Right now, they've drawn 56 total walks in 7 games. That's pretty good. Jose Brizuela has drawn 11 of those, Stephen McGee 8. So you talk to these guys, they're consistent, they're patient at the plate. They're going to face a guy on Friday night in Pat Young in Villanova who's only walked 1 guy all season. Just 1 walk on the season and has thrown about 70% of his pitches for strikes. He doesn't have a decision yet on the season because Villanova hasn't really had the time to practice outside and be able to really hit the ball well. But Pat Young is mighty impressive and will not give the Seminoles too many walks. They're going to have to be very consistent at the plate this weekend. And your third and final storyline for this weekend is a pretty simple one. It's generic, but it's been really good. And that's the Seminoles starting pitching. I'm talking about Lee Brandt, Scott Seitz, and Peter Miller. Seitz and Miller might have had their best outings of their entire careers in the exact same day last weekend against South Florida. Peter Miller, Mike Martin said after the game, that's the best he's ever looked in his career. The Seminoles can sure use appearances like that out of both Miller and Seitz to be really good this season. Again, Scott Seitz has yet to give up an earned run this season. 2 appearances, no earned runs, and that's a pretty good start to a senior season, wouldn't you say? Of course, this weekend is another great weekend of baseball. Everything gets started at 4 p.m. on Friday afternoon. Friday and Saturday's games can both be seen on ESPN3, and Sunday's game on Seminoles.com All Access. Again, Seminole fans, I want to hear from you on Twitter. Make sure you follow me or tweet me at Scott Kotick or send me an email at skotick@fsu.edu. I think the address is right there. So just send me an email, follow me on Twitter. I'd love to hear from you what you think about this season of Florida State baseball. We'll see you this weekend, Seminole fans. For K-Time, I'm Scott Kotick.